Hi everyone, welcome back to Lair Academy. It's Mickey again, and in this lesson we're going to be building out our category action page. The very first thing we're going to have to do is create a new controller for our categories. Let's load up our console and type in PHP Artisan make controller followed by category controller. We'll give this a second and let's switch over to our IDE. We can find our newly created controller in app HTTP controllers, and then finally the category controller.php. This controller is only going to be responsible for a single method. The method that we're going to be using is view, and it's going to accept a category. We'll just assign it a category variable. Now this method is very easy. We're just going to return the view category.view, and we'll pass in the category variable using the compact function. If you're not familiar with compact, it just takes a string, and that string will equal the category or the variable that you want to pass in. Now right now, Laravel doesn't know what category we're referring to, so let's import this at the top. We'll say use app, models, and then category. Now remember that this is going to refer to our directory structure, app, models, and then category, so we're actually using our Eloquent model. Our next step is going to be adding the new route. So let's switch over, and we're going to load up our routes, and then web.php. Right here we have the default, we also have some authentication routes, and we're going to get to these later on. Underneath the default route, let's create a new one, and it's going to be a GET request. Anytime the user goes to, let's say, /category, view, and then followed by the category itself, we're going to use a controller, so we'll say uses, and we'll point to our category controller, and the action that we want to use is view. And finally, let's give it a name of category.view. Now we're almost done here. If we switch back to our category controller, let's take a look at the function itself. In this function, we're returning a view called category.view. What this means is inside our resources views, because it's category and then followed a period, Laravel is expecting this as a folder. We'll create a new folder in our view called category. And then within this, we'll create a new blade file, and this blade file will be called view.blade.php. Now let's take a quick look at what we have in our home file. You can see at the top we're extending our layout, and then we have our section. So let's just copy this in, and we'll end the section at the bottom. Now we're not going to be doing anything too fancy here. We're just going to be using some basic Bootstrap to apply a couple styles. We'll start off with our container, a row, and then followed by a column. Within this column, we're going to have a heading 1, and we're going to use the class display4, and we want the margin bottom of 4. In here, we'll insert the category name, so this will come from the variable that we're passing into Blade. Now we need a way to loop through our categories articles and display them on the screen. We'll start off again with some basic Bootstrap classes. The first one, let's start with everything within a new container just to keep things separate. And within this container, once again, we'll have another row followed up with a column. Next, we'll use an unordered list, and the class name we're going to use here is a list group. And within this list group, we're going to use a for each statement, and we're going to say for each of our categories articles, we're going to loop through them. Let's just pause for a second to check out this relationship. Inside app, models, and category, we'll just double check our relationship, and it is indeed articles. Alright, so switching back, we'll say for each of our categories articles as an article, we want to loop through each one. This is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to have a list item, and the class we're going to use is a list group item. Within this list group item, we'll just have an anchor tag. We won't make it go anywhere, and we'll just have an H4 to make the font a little bigger. The final thing we're going to spit out here is the article's name itself. Now that we have everything, let's make sure that we save it. And the final thing that we're going to have to do is hook up this action to our homepage. Within our home.blade.php, down here at the bottom where we are viewing the category, we can access the route that we made. If you remember in web.php, where we have our category, we gave it the name of category.view. So instead of making an absolute URL, we can reference this route name. We can easily say route category.view, and pass in the category itself. Now, even though we're passing in the category here, Laravel is smart enough to figure out that we want the category ID. And what's going to happen in the background is Laravel is automatically going to try and find this category and then pass it into our blade file using the compact function. Now, with everything complete, make sure we save everything, refresh our home page, and we should see our category view pop up in the bottom here. And let's choose one that has more than one article. And let's see what's displayed. Now right now we have the title of our category, but our articles are not showing up. Let's quickly switch back to our IDE. If we switch over to our blade file, we're referencing the article name. Let's double check this by opening up the article model, and you can see here we actually need title instead of name. We'll save this, refresh, and you can see that we have our articles here. Let's go back to the home page and let's just try one more item here. Let's choose a random category, and you can see that the article is automatically updated. And now that brings this lesson to an end. I hope you enjoyed it, maybe learned a few things, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.